We're live! Hello, hello! Welcome back to my channel and to my live stream, where Alina may show up mysteriously later on. So we are here to do some writing and talk some shit, as we frequently do. And I'm going to have everybody introduce themselves. And since Alina is not here, Amber wins.
Yay. Hi guys, I'm Amber Kraft, the author of the Unknown series. And yeah, I'm not even working on my stuff today, so that's me. I don't know.
All right. And Carol?
Hi, I'm Carrow Brown. I am an author with 8 Little Pages Publishing. I have a book coming out this April called Queen of Swords and Silence. It's coming out on April 26th. What else am I going to say? I have a short story out. If you want to check out my writing style and see if you like it, you can get it for free if you sign up for my newsletter, or you can pay 99 cents, whichever one you like. I do like reviews, so if you read the short story and you really like it, the review would be totally awesome. So.
Awesome. And CJ?
I'm CJ Bloyer. I write predominantly young adult fantasy fiction, although I'm currently dipping my toe in other waters. I do not currently have anything officially published, but you can check out my serial story down below at my Tumblr.
All right. Dana?
Awesome. My name is Dana Gollin. I loved that. Deer in the headlights. I'm Dana Gollin. I write adult fantasy romance. And yeah, good stuff.
All right. And I am Sarah Scheinweber, and this is my channel. And I talk about writing and things, and I do stupid stuff, and I talk about nerdy things. And I wear a shirt that references a D&D game I play in. So if you like it, you should, I don't know, go somewhere and find it, I guess. I don't know where it is. I don't have a link.
I know. That is a pretty cool shirt, though.
I'm like a terrible person.
Why?
Because I should have a link to the merch for the show I'm on. I would think. Maybe. Anyway, it's over on Twitch. So there you go.
Yeah, I was going to say, maybe like after you're done, when you go back, you could do like, you can add one. I don't know.
Yeah, I have a vague recollection of one being on the Facebook page for Extreme Drawist, which also is not in the section down below, because why would any of my links be down there? It's just my channel. So yeah, there are links down there, just not those links. Nothing I'm talking about right now. But all my
Jasmine's laughing at you.
Oh my goodness.
She's throwing shade at you.
You know what? I don't want to hear about it.
That's right.
God.
Yeah, you know whose link is down there? Mine.
Yeah. I'll have 2 links down there. Even Alina, who's not even fucking here. So
that's right.
Hey, you can't throw
crazy
shade.
link shit there.
If she throws shade, I won't work on her book tonight.
Oh damn. Author burn.
That's right.
So I'm already like 2/3 of a glass into this evening. And I'm on medication that makes me a lightweight. So
that's exciting.
Could get interesting. It probably won't be Christmas Blizzard interesting. But CJ isn't here to coach me. And for some reason I act twice as stupid if CJ's around. I don't know why that is.
Oh man. Oh, it was great. This morning was so funny. Like, I was sitting on the couch and my husband came in and he said something, and all of a sudden I started laughing. And he's like, "Are you okay?" And I was just laughing. My sides started hurting so badly. And about 30 minutes later, I was like, "What did you say?" It was great. Anyway,
awesome.
That was my morning.
See, I'm sitting here laughing, and like Jazz is like, "Oh, that'll put you behind. Oh, you'll be punishing yourself." I'm like, "Damn it, you're right."
Right.
See why Brooke won't get out in time, and then I'll be punishing myself.
Oh,
you know, you're gonna have to like jam it into one night.
I was gonna say, Carol doesn't understand the humor of that. Amber is starting her own small publishing company, and Jasmine is one of her clients. Which is why it's funny that she's threatening Jasmine not to work on her book tonight, because it really only punishes Amber.
Okay, I get the humor now.
I'm like, so now that I've given you the rundown of...
I forget, not everyone knows. Sorry, yeah.
Sorry, guys.
I was just going to nod along. I was going to be like, okay, cool. That seems funny. I'll figure it out later.
No, I was just trying to do a recap of, you know.
Sorry. In my mind, everyone knows because I did like an update video last night that I'm going to edit tonight after the stream and put up tomorrow. And so in my mind, I've already told everybody.
I get you. Sometimes I have conversations with myself that I think I told other people, but it was really just me.
Yeah. Yeah, I think my husband does that to me. Like, he'll tell me he told me stuff, and I'm like, no, that wasn't me who told that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think he never told anyone. I think he's misremembering who he told.
Yeah.
I do that with my students.
I do that.
I'm sure I told one something, but no, it was another one.
Yeah, like I do that a lot, or like I'll be sitting here and in my mind I've said it, and then I'll be like, "Didn't you hear me say that?" And then like you didn't even. Yeah.
My favorite with teaching is that when you teach like 8 classes a day, you get to class 6, and you're like, "What the fuck have I talked about so far? Like, did I talk about these things? Like, I don't remember now. Where am I on the PowerPoint?"
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I teach piano, and right now I have 18 students.
Oh, wow.
So, and they're all at different levels. So like the higher levels, the ones that are like I only have a couple who are at the higher levels. So they're like, I know what I tell them because it's much more comprehensive and we talk about very different things. Mm-hmm. But like I have, I don't know, at least 10 of them have all started within the last year. Mm-hmm. So they're all somewhere in the first 2 books. And so I say the same things over and over again, but I can't remember who I told what about which one. Have we talked about this yet? I don't remember. Like, yeah.
But you know what? Here's the thing, though. When you quiz them, have we talked about this yet? It's because you don't remember shit, and they think that you're trying to see if they're paying attention. So.
Right? So it works out really well.
Yeah,
really, it's just that you're a doddering old fool.
Yeah, but that's how I get my kids all the time. I'll be like, did I already tell this to you? Have we talked about this already? And then it puts them on the spot like, I love it.
My biology teacher used to, because she would forget things. She had a memory problem to begin with. So she would like, instead of writing down every class, all the stuff we had to remember, she just like had already pre-wrote it and put it on slides. So if we didn't get done, she just had a different color marker for every class that she would just put where we stopped so that she knew and we knew where to start off at.
She had like a rainbow at the end of the day.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
That makes actually a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I should have done that.
Speaking of CJ's teaching piano, I was watching some of her videos on her channel, and I loved the history of music that you have on there.
Oh, the one I never finished?
Yes. Yes.
You really go back to it. Like legit, you're gonna, you know what? This computer is the computer I used to have. I received a amazing gift of like this amazing computer that I have that has like changing color LED lights and a glass side. Like it's ridiculous. That was gifted to me. So this computer is going to go to CJ, who is currently working on a laptop, which is not quite ancient. In electronic terms. Huh?
It's only 6 years old.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's still like it can run Sims and stuff. So I mean it's not dead. But this computer, it's not a great computer, but it's from this year. So
right.
She's gonna upgrade and she may be able to actually do a little more stuff if I can, I don't know, stab her in the ribs with something while she's sleeping while she's here.
Yeah. Just be glad that it works without electrocuting you. My mom's is 5 years old, and when we get our taxes, she's got to get a new one. I'm going to buy her one because it literally, like, if you put the power cord a certain way, it will, like, the bottom of the computer will electrocute you.
Wow.
Oh wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well,
Mouse?
I motion that CJ start doing some more of those music
Yeah, that one was
videos, because here's the thing, like, I never really thought, I love music. Granted, I can't handle music with lyrics. They drive me insane. I don't know why. I think it's because it takes away from the beauty of the actual instruments.
Mhm.
I could just be fucking insane. Okay, probably that.
I think it's that one.
Yeah, but I never really thought about like the origins of music, and so when I was watching that, I started thinking about like, I wonder what music sounded like when people still lived in caves, because it was there. It just wasn't what we imagine it to be today. You know what I mean?
Well,
Yeah.
and really, you can talk about how music starts if you watch small children.
Mhm.
I've given like our church has a daycare, and so I've gone and I've worked with their 3, 4, and 5-year-olds, and you can't talk about like notation and like eighth notes and stuff. They don't. That's
They don't
way
get
over
it.
their head.
Yeah.
But what we do talk about is sounds versus silence. So that's notes and rests. And then we talk about louds and softs. And then we talk about different types of sounds. So like if you hit various parts of your body, you will create different kinds of sounds. So if you hit your thigh,
Mhm.
it's a very different sound than if you hit your knee, because your knee's harder and more dense. So you can create, and so we talk about with the little kids, we talk about what kind of sounds can you make, and then you get like 30 preschoolers who are smacking themselves, which is hilarious, but also incredibly interesting in how they can create, like they try to create all these different sounds, and the only thing you really have to do is don't hit your neighbor. Remember, we're just hitting our own bodies.
Uh-huh.
But yeah,
I love toddler bongos. When you
Yes.
when you get a little one and they got that distended belly because they've either eaten too much or they haven't pooped all day, and you just start like bump, bump, bump. I'm like, oh, I love this. Not that I don't want
I'm
my
gonna
kids.
share a video in the comments because you just made me think about it. CJ is familiar with this. It's called Patchacootie.
yes. Oh Lord.
It's a song from a British children's show that is absolutely amazing.
Ridiculously so.
I don't know if there's a copy of the video on here. It doesn't look like there is. It looks like there's only the lyrics. Okay. So unfortunately, there is not a video of the actual children's show. It's just a video of the lyrics, but I'm going to share it here, and you guys should all check it out. If you check it out now, then I guess we'll see you in about 2 minutes and 5 seconds. If you don't check it out now, then I hope you enjoy it later. But it is so much fun. It is the cutest song, but it reminded me because it's gross, but it reminded me. So
It's gross, but it's good.
it's gross, but it reminded me of
Yeah.
this, which is gross.
My daughter just sent me kind of a strange text message. She says, I love you. I'm watching a movie, so I can't talk, but I love you. Which makes me think she might be watching a scary movie because she's not at home. And when she gets scared and she's not near me, she's like, I love you, Mom. I don't know what's going on, but I love you. So I just sent her a text message back, reassuring her.
You should also send her another text that says, also, he's behind you.
Oh, God, no.
I saw this thing on Twitter. It was absolutely hilarious because they do like little Twitter stories.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, take a moment, listen to those creaks and the soft whispering of your house. Do you hear them? That's me.
Oh, that's so mean.
I know, right? I was like, that's fucking amazing.
Oh, yeah.
So people ask me all the time, like, well, you write horror, so you're not afraid of anything, right? Are you kidding me?
Mm-hmm.
I'm afraid of the dark. I'm afraid of raccoons. I'm afraid of deer. I'm afraid of pretty much anything that happens in the dark. I'm afraid of spiders. I'm afraid of centipedes. I'm afraid of that guy who's coming to the door because I don't know why he's here.
She once made me run 100 yards back into an open field so that at night, because she'd lost her lighter. This is like the first time we ever hung out. I kid you not. She did not want to go back into the grass. She wanted to stay on the sidewalk where there were lights, and she made me run back into the grass because she'd lost her lighter.
I would have gone. I would have gone to a gas station and bought you a new one before I went running into that dark field.
It was like on the college campus. Like it was not. Yeah, no. Sarah's afraid of everything.
I am like, and that's why I know what people are afraid of. Because if I'm afraid of it, someone's afraid of it, and I'm afraid of everything. So that works out pretty well.
Yeah, but the thing I like about your style of writing is the fact that it's not this gruesome horror. It's more of it's a total mind fuckery. Mm-hmm. That's what the scary part of it is. And then some of the stories that you write scares me because I'm like, I would totally do this shit if I knew I could get away with it. You know? You know what I mean? It's like, I mean, yeah, there is some gore to it, but it's not like it's I don't want to say that your writing mirrors that of like Stephen King, but psychologically you get into, at least for me,
I am a really big Stephen King fan. Like I understand that as a writer, that's like an offensive fucking statement to make. But whatever. I'm a really big Stephen King fan. I would argue that he's probably my favorite only because I tend to buy his books faster than I buy everyone else's books.
Yeah.
So I think because I don't really want to pick a favorite because I think Joe Hill is a better writer than Stephen King. Mm-hmm. Like, I just think he is.
Yeah, it depends on the style that you like. There's a booktuber. I watch booktube because I love drama, right? But there's a booktuber I follow and she's got really good taste in books, but she can't get into Brandon Sanderson and she hates Stephen King. And I'm like, well, I'm willing to forgive you on both fronts, but damn, like both of them.
Right. Like,
and some of it, I think, it's just because, like, in Brandon Sanderson's early books, like Mistborn, for example, we went through a lot of, like, this is copper, and copper has this property. And when somebody ingests copper, copper does this thing. Let's watch copper do this thing. It was like, okay, that I get.
Yeah, like, I got into a conversation today with someone about how I don't love Anne Rice because I don't want to hear about Lestat's motherfucking buttons for 2 pages. Are you okay, Carrow?
I'm fine. You shocked my world.
I was going to say, you made her pass out.
I know. Like, what happened?
I know. I was like, wow. Was that too much for you? Other fucking buttons?
I mean, it hurt my heart to say it, but I understood.
Did I tell you that I'm dramatic? I'm dramatic.
I think it's what's in that bottle you're sucking on, lady.
Well, she's telling me, well, Lestat cares. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck what Lestat cares about. I don't want to read it.
Yep.
Like, I can't with you. And like, I get it. I get why other people like it. It's just not my thing.
Well, see, I love Anne Rice, her writing style, but I'm the same way. Like, the same way I am with her, this is the same way you are. But like, my favorite author, romance-wise, paranormal, is Christine Feehan. But like, sometimes I'm like, I know you're contracted for 125 words, but this one page could have been 1 paragraph. Like,
I know, yeah.
I didn't need to know all this.
There's one author.
Good, it's just too much. Sorry.
No, you're fine. I was totally interrupting you. There's one author who, I'm not going to say their name because the last thing I want is an angry mob to come and lynch me. But there's one author, and she has a huge fan base, and I've read her books. Like the world building, or at least the idea of the world building, is like, it's really fucking good. But the delivery of how she like presents her stories and everything, it's very middle school. Mm-hmm. It's like, it's kind of like he came into the room and he was handsome. I'm like,
right.
What made him handsome?
You're like, okay, can you show me that?
Yeah, don't do that shit. Who is it? Just tell us. Who is it?
No, damn it.
He's not doing it.
No.
Send me a private message about what the hell you're talking about.
Dana wants to know now.
I gotta know. I gotta know.
I was gonna say, there's this little chat thing on the side we can see.
I will do it. I will do it.
Yeah, but like the thing is that people are so weirdly. I don't know if this is a new thing because I'm 37 years old. So in my lifetime, this seems to have grown, but I think it's grown because I have become more aware of it, not because it has grown. But people have this need for what works for them to be right for everyone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes some people like physically angry if that's not true. So like that's why if you ask for recommendations on Facebook and you don't go with the fucking mechanic someone mentioned, they might be so offended they don't talk to you.
Yeah, it's such a strange. I guess I have a scientific interest in this because I do study psychology and sociology and the way that people interact with each other. I'm gonna sound smart for a minute, and it is very interesting to watch how individuals actually interact with each other, especially now with the internet. Because as I mentioned in a video I think earlier this week, when it came to like sharing thoughts and opinions with other people, we always had like a processing time. So we would actually like have a moment, we would think, be kind of like, well, is that really how I feel, or is that just like my first initial response? And then we'd go talk to friends about it and get their feedback. And it's a little bit different now because with Twitter, Instagram, all this other stuff, we can just do things like real fast.
Yeah.
And we don't really have that same processing time. And I think that as a society, we're kind of not doing ourselves any favors because a lot of people are looking back at the way that they reacted to things and they're kind of regretting it because when they thought about it, they're kind of like, oh no, maybe that is okay.
Right.
We took the filter out.
Because, like, is anyone here under 30? Are you under 30, Carol?
No, but we can pretend.
I know. I'm like, look at her. She looks
under 30. So maybe that's something that we notice because of our age. That maybe they don't notice in younger ages. See, and that's my interest. Because I have a very similar interest, Carol, because I worked in mental health for 15 years before I moved on to a world where drama is in your immediate family, and that is it. Because we do family law cases.
I was about to say, you must work for lawyers.
Yes. Yeah. So it's always like, my kid is really upset that he can't go to that football game because he's with my husband that weekend. And I'm like, yeah, that's really sad for him.
Yeah, because she needs to be more like me. I told my kids from the very get-go, if there's something you want to do, you need to be completely honest and say, hey, I would like to do this. Can you please be accommodating? And if that other person says no, ruin their fucking weekend. No.
And that's what makes me glad my daughter's dad's not around.
Oh, man.
Deal with drama.
Yeah, you know what though? My husband has kids, and I did not make any myself. My husband has kids, and they each have their own mothers. So it was like a separate experience with each other. So like the youngest who lives with us, her mother, like, we can talk to her, and she says, "Oh, okay, that makes sense." Like, it's like she's another human being. But the other two, one of them we just could not communicate with because she would do things like, our 16-year-old can smoke weed as long as I'm there to watch her and laugh at her. I'll buy it for her even.
Oh my God.
Of course, we all got stories about parents and kids and stuff like that. When I used to be a teacher and I was a special ed teacher, I had this one meeting where fortunately, like, parent passed away. It was just the father, but my particular kid did not live with the father, lived with somebody else. But the father came and brought his girlfriend with him. And so we're in the middle of the meeting and the girlfriend starts voicing opinions. And so I was like, I have to do it. I have to be the capital B. And so I stopped the meeting. I was like, I really appreciate your thoughts and opinions, but you are not a legal representative of this meeting. And you shouldn't even be here. So could you excuse yourself before I call security? And she was just like, what do you mean I don't have a say? It's like, are you married? Like, no. It's like,
Yeah, I had to pull that a couple times. I worked in a nursing home where like somebody would have power of attorney over someone, and they'd be like, well, I'm wondering about this and this and this, and their like wife or their sister or whatever. Usually it was a woman who thought she could just jump in, even if it was a woman who was the power of attorney. I don't know why that was, but that was my experience. But they would jump in and they'd be like, and I think you should also, and I'm like, hold up.
Who the hell are you?
I'm listening to the power of attorney over here, and you're fucking no one. So step back, shut your fucking mouth, and let me, the nurse, and the person who fucking matters talk.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Well,
no.
that's how, like, everything I've noticed in my own personal journey that everything was fine until the other parent married a woman. And then all of a sudden, she thought she knew the fucking everything. And I was like, wait a minute. These are my kids. Nobody knows my kids better than I do. And I don't give a fuck how many degrees you think you have.
Right.
I got a master's and my 2 motherfucking kids. So shut up. You
Yeah, and
know
that's
what
the thing is like,
now I just sound like an asshole.
okay. I don't typically politics on my channel, but I feel so passionate about this. I don't feel very upset about saying it, but I also am okay saying it because of the story largely. I am a passionate vaxxer.
Like, get your kids vaccinated?
Yes.
Well, yeah, protect them.
We have a client who is not that thing. She and her husband are going through a divorce. They have objected on a religious exemption for their kids for like 9+ years. All of a sudden, he's dating someone and she thinks their kids should be vaccinated. I had to say to someone today, those aren't her kids. She can't decide who gets vaccinated.
Yep.
Ouch.
It's an offensive point of view, but unfortunately, those aren't her fucking kids.
Exactly. Yep.
Did you guys hear that Iceland's not letting you come into the country if you don't have your vaccine?
I saw that.
Oh, they're smart.
And Iceland's fucking beautiful.
I know.
Exactly.
It's so gorgeous.
No
And they all speak
volcanoes
English.
for you.
You've been there, right?
Yeah, I've been there. It's beautiful.
Okay, that's what I thought. I thought you were the one who had been there.
There
I knew
are
somebody said
very,
that.
Me.
yeah, there are very limited reasons why you should not vaccinate your children. I have friends whose children have medical reasons that they can only receive like 1 vaccine at a time. And I 100% will back her up and decapitate anyone who wants to fuck with her. For the rest of the world whose immune system is healthy, keep it healthy. Give your kids a shot, because guess what? Even if by some miracle your kid wakes up one day and is autistic, they're the best fucking kind of kids you could possibly have, okay? Give them the shots. My son, I listened to that for years after my son was diagnosed. They were like, oh, you shouldn't have given him vaccines. Why? So he could die from measles? Look at him. He's beautiful. He is so creative. He is absolutely wonderful. And guess what? His vaccines didn't make him that. And that's what I cannot stand people whose ignorance allows them to put their children in harm's way.
See,
Or
there's
other
like
people's children.
I'm
there's
going to get off the box now.
well, there's 9 kids right now. I forget what state it is that they're not allowing to go to school. I think since like January they haven't been to school because there was a measles outbreak in the school.
Yeah.
They didn't have the shot. Yeah, they didn't have the shot, so they couldn't go to school.
Yeah.
I'm like, you haven't been to school since January. Like, where do you put that? Tardy course
Well, and, like,
versus shot.
How do you maintain a job to support your children if they can't be in school for 3 months?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly. Welfare. No, I'm not even going to start that. I said I was getting off the damn box.
Don't do it. Don't do it. We're not having that
I
conversation.
know.
Yeah.
I know.
You and I can argue about that offline.
Wait until we're off the air and we can just be real with each other.
No.
Does that mean we have to talk about writerly things again?
Yes.
We should actually probably do some work because people
Yes.
are here for a reason, and here we are just talking shit.
Except Tamara wants to go to Iceland with us. So I think we need to start a
I'm
fundraiser.
okay with that.
What
Here's
is it? GoFundMe for Iceland. No.
Stop the
Do
stream
you know
right
they
now.
grow bananas in Iceland?
they have greenhouses for it near the volcanoes.
They
Yeah.
use volcanic heat to grow bananas.
Yeah.
Here's what we
Okay.
do.
Okay.
We're going to shut this down now, and then we'll meet you all in Iceland. I don't know how I'm getting there. It might be a motherfucking rowboat.
Yeah, the Atlantic would destroy us in a rowboat.
You could honestly just offer to work there because they're the one country that's kind of like so we only have like a few thousand people. Does anybody want to come over?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah.
Travis, you can just go to Iceland.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Like-
apparently Iceland wants people. We're people.
Yeah, we are
And they all
totally
speak
people.
English.
Holy shit.
Work
Like-
on the Icelandic cruise ships.
If
I
I'm
know.
not showing up on YouTube, I'm in Iceland.
Oh, my husband has informed me that there are 250,000 native population. So it's a
Wow.
small. Yeah, and it's smaller than Texas.
Like,
Yeah.
so like they probably have a lot of jobs needing to be filled. I could go and be like,
Let's go for the summer. Go.
I know, like what kind of jobs do they have there? I would totally work on a fishing like boat.
We could be
I've always-
we could be like a weird commune in Iceland of writers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm down for that.
They
I
have
know.
open season during tourists because they basically have everybody from Europe come over and work because everybody wants to go to Iceland in the summer because that's when you can go.
Right.
Because I remember when I was there, my husband and I were walking around at one point. I was like, I'm really freaking tired. Like, what time is it? Like, what is it, 11? We look at the clock. It's like, it's 3 a.m. It's like the sun's still out. We're like, what's happening? Because it's not going down. It's just moving
Right.
this way to that way.
Yeah,
I could
so, like,
totally do that.
your
That's what I
brain
hated
doesn't
about
know what to
Alaska.
do with that.
Yeah.
Especially when you're like new to it.
Yeah. I was like, I guess we should go to sleep. Shit.
That was the
Yeah.
weird thing when I was stationed in Alaska for a few months. Like the first time I went just as a visitor, and like it was all dark, and I'm like, okay, I'm loving this. And then like when I got stationed there, it was like, ah, crap, it's daylight
Where was that?
in Alaska.
Oh,
So yeah, it definitely takes some getting used to.
I had an uncle who was stationed in Alaska, and he came to visit, and I was like, oh, it's gotta be so cool. It's like dark all winter long. That would be freaking awesome. And he's like, yeah, except I have to plug in a special blanket. I have to plug a special blanket in so that my engine doesn't freeze.
Yep.
yep.
I was like, what do you mean? How could your engine's gonna freeze? Are you
Yep.
freaking insane? And he's like, and then he started explaining all this stuff to me, and I was like, yeah, you can keep your Alaska.
We have to do that here on rare occasion, like it gets that cold.
I was gonna say
Well-
they do it in northern Minnesota all the time.
Yeah, but
when it's the negative 40, that's what we should be doing.
Yeah.
right, but
Yeah.
you've got
But we
to
just have
remember.
headphones.
You have to remember, I live in a land where it's 50 degrees and people are putting parkas on.
Right, right.
See,
right.
I'm like, I'm offended by above 60.
Yeah. So it's
I start
like,
sweating.
Don't come here.
Personally offended.
Nope. I
So
want you
it's
to know Arizona is really, really nice in February and March.
It is very nice in February and March. And then our planes don't take off in the summer. So
Right.
exactly. People, and I love it because people all over the country are like, oh yeah, it's horrible to travel in the wintertime because you never know when your flights are going to get canceled, this, that, and the other thing. And I was like, why in the winter? Because like the summer is worse. I mean, you get up in the morning. If you have a flight leaving Arizona, you get up in the morning and you pray that by some miracle there was rain so that it will at least keep the flight line cool enough to go until your flight leaves, because they will shut that down. It's like 11 o'clock in the morning and flights are delayed because it's 130 degrees on the flight line.
Right.
Yeah. It's like, and then the first time it happened that it was public, that I remember it happening, I was like, I don't get it. Why can't the planes leave? And it's like, if it's too hot, it's like trying to land in the fog. It just doesn't happen.
130 degrees is both physically and emotionally abusive.
Yeah.
I don't appreciate it at all. Half of that is uncomfortable to me.
I feel bad for my brother, who his job is on a flight line, and he's out there like trying to fix engines and shit on a flight line. And I'm like, brother, just get a different job. And then it's terrible. It's terrible. He comes out, his skin's all like roasted and he's dehydrated. And I'm just like, my poor brother.
So right before the stream started, my husband closed the window because it had gotten a little chilly. We've been on for 40 minutes, so it is 46 degrees here.
That isn't human. I don't know how you live.
And I changed out of my sweatshirt.
I know. She's like
it's 43 degrees and you're wearing a short sleeve shirt. We need to send a care package. We send the dogs some jackets.
Here's the thing though, like when you spend 2 months at -10 or -20,
that doesn't exist.
40 degrees is like, I'm wearing shorts today.
Yeah.
Travis actually asked me if it was warm enough for him to wear shorts.
Yeah. It was when I took my daughter to school, it was 42, and I walk outside and I'm like, I'm cold-blooded, like seriously with my vitamin D. 40 is freezing to me. But after all the negative temperatures, I walk outside and I'm like, it feels good. My daughter looks at her phone. She goes, are you okay? I was like, why? She goes, it's 40. I'm like, and? She goes, why aren't you cold?
Okay. I don't have a vitamin D deficiency. And if it was 40 degrees, I would be crying. I would be like, in the morning, my husband goes outside and I will follow him occasionally until I hit the front door and I'm like, oh my God, it's 50 degrees. I can't do this.
See, anything under like 65 to me is like cold. Mm-hmm. So it's just the way my body runs.
Now you're just talking nonsense.
Right. Like for normal people, that's like perfect temperature, but
it is.
Below 65 to me is cold. So I always have like a short sleeve or sleeveless on, but I always have like a light pullover or whatever. So my mom's like, when we move, you're gonna have to like decrease your wardrobe, and I'm like, no, we're just gonna fold out the extra bed, and my bed's gonna be storage for clothes because
you're moving to Washington, right?
Yeah, but
it's fucking cold there.
I know, but to fix this house, we have to move into the RV we bought last weekend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so for the summer here, we'll be in an RV that's half the size of this house. So.
Okay, I get it now. I totally get it. Yeah,
my bed's a bunk bed.
This is why it's important to have all of the information.
The high today was 49, and I drove home with my window down, even though my window doesn't actually work, because I figured when I get home, I'll figure it out, because it's not.
How are you alive?
Right?
Okay. See, I'm with Wendy. Okay, it just hit 60 degrees in Texas, and that is fine for me. When I lived in Texas, it would hit 95, and everybody would be burning up. Oh my God, I'm so hot. And I'm like, this is perfect. The degree temperatures from my body to the
above 80 and I turn into a bitch. So you need to be aware.
I'm totally going to change the subject for a minute. As you can see, I'm holding a Sonic cup.
Yeah, and I'm jealous and I don't want to
I know, I want the ice so bad.
I want to just tell you that I was so blessed today. Not only did my husband bring me a cherry limeade, which is my favorite drink on the planet, I got 3 fucking cherries, okay?
Oh, bitch.
Oh, I know. I know. I am like, praise the Lord.
I do the strawberry lemonade real fruit slush.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God.
Dana, did they have the you like cherry limeade? Do they have the cherry limeade mimosa there?
I don't know. I have no idea. I don't actually go there. I know what I want.
Okay.
I used to be on I don't remember what the site was called, the social media app that used to like check you into places and you would be the mayor. Yeah, Foursquare. I used to be like the mayor of like 3 different fucking Sonics on Foursquare.
Right. That's cool.
Ours has, I tried it today. Ours has this, they call it cherry limeade mimosa. And it's a cherry limeade with a splash of orange juice. And I was like, that doesn't even sound good. And the girl's like, well, I'll just bring you a small and you can try it before you order it. And I'm like, okay. Oh my, I got a new fucking drink. If it's like a short time thing, I'm going to cry.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, that's my favorite cherry limeade.
Yep. I love it. I used to get the Route 66, and then I found out like how many calories was in it, and I was like, just give me the regular.
Yeah.
Especially because now that I am not very mobile, I have to be careful. I have to be careful because the last thing I need is for my knees to go out.
Right.
Oh my God. That's what I told my husband.
Do some work.
Yeah. I told my
You've been
husband
like fucking around for 45 minutes.
Yeah. I told my husband this morning, he's like, you know, I could just get you one of those electric scooter things if you really want to leave the house. And I was like, I'm not an electric scooter kind of person, okay? Not yet, at least.
Give me time.
All right. Yeah, because I finally decided there's some writerly topic. Alina gave me an amazing idea, and I'm going to share it with you guys because it's not my original idea. I am going to take all of my deleted scenes and I'm going to put them on my Patreon page, and I'm going to stop abandoning my Patreon page because Mama needs some money. 777. No. I love your board, by the way.
Oh, I'm glad you like it.
I got your chocolate chips.
Somebody's got chocolate chips. I'm excited.
I know. I'm like, I need some
chocolate
chocolate
chips.
Cassie.
Cassie got me chocolate chips.
See,
Alina apparently did not arise this evening, Tamara.
Oh yeah, isn't that what we were waiting on Alina, weren't we?
Yeah, we waited on Alina. That's why we were a little late. But
She
let
was
me not
smart
blame Alina.
and
We were also
slept.
talking shit. So
Yep,
Are we
we
gonna,
waited for 50 minutes, so we should probably get started.
Do you want to
but
start?
yeah, okay, so at
50?
50 we will start.
Okay.
But yeah, so if you guys want to hear the shit we talk before the live stream, shoot me a message and you guys can be on it. Because we do talk shit before and after the live stream.
Yeah.
It's probably my favorite part of the live stream.
Yeah.
But my favorite part
Primarily.
of like the active live stream is like talking to people who like us talking shit over here in the comments. And I clapped and it scared the cat. She's
Which
in a
cat?
basket. I love it.
Your Siamese?
Yeah, you want to see her?
Hold on.
I'm gonna move the camera
Yes.
and show you my cat in the basket.
Okay.
Cat in the basket. Say hi, Dreamer.
Oh,
Say Mom scared
her.
me. Say hi.
she's
Look
a
how
pretty
cute
girl.
she is.
My
She's my sweet
daughter,
angel.
I don't know if I've told
She's
you or
not an
not.
angel.
Compared to fucking Zunktomoy, she is.
Well,
Yeah. I don't know if I've told you before or not, but Minnie Monster loves your Dreamer.
Yeah?
She looks so much like Minnie Monster's Logan. And so every chance she gets to see Dreamer, she's like, oh, I love that cat. Oh, well, yes, I know you do. I think that's why she hangs out with me so much now. When she's here and we're streaming, she's like, where's the cat? It's in the basket.
I'll start sending you more pictures.
Awesome.
I take a lot of pictures of my cats.
a lot
Yeah.
A
of
lot.
pictures.
She would
Like-
love that.
I take 20 thumbnails when I take one thumbnail, okay?
Mhm.
But my cats, there's probably 40 to 60 pictures a day of my cats on average.
That's because you
Oh, I
love
love it.
them. They're your babies.
Because Sarah has a too much gene.
I do have the too much gene. If you guys watch Jenna Marbles, she has the too much gene. I have the same gene.
Yeah.
She and I are like spirit animals. I'm also terrified of authority. My boss is like, you didn't do this. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to get fired. I'm going to lose my job and I'm not going to be able to eat. And I'm going to starve to death and everybody's going to die.
Yep.
And that's why you have a support group who says it's okay.
Take a deep breath.
Take a deep
Anyone who
breath.
receives private messages from me on the regular will receive a private message on some occasion that says, I'm in trouble.
Mhm.
And it's usually really minor, but I'm terrified.
Yeah.
And actually, like 3 weeks ago, okay, I love my boss. She's been under a lot of stress. The office has been incredibly stressful. During January, we shut down several times because of the weather, and so did the courthouse. So a lot of things got rescheduled and the things got missed, and it was just a clusterfuck. A couple weeks ago, she asked me if I had done something, and I couldn't remember if I had done it. And she like snapped off and was like, if you can't get this together, I'm gonna have to replace you, that kind of thing. And I didn't sleep well for nights. So like that's how I feel about that kind of stuff. And then I have the too much gene where I can't like, why do I have a whole like case of paper worth of box of eyeshadows when I have one fucking face?
Yeah, but you're not no. That's not the too much gene. That's just you really like eyeshadow. There's lots of women who have way too much fucking makeup and they never use it, like myself.
How many of them do you know who have done a different eye look 4 or 5 times in like a 6-hour period of time?
Okay, well,
like, I will wipe off my makeup, do all new makeup, wipe off my makeup, and do all new makeup.
Well, yeah, because that's what you love to do. That's your hobby. That's you know, there's nothing wrong with that. I think that's what makes
and then I need
amazing.
Christmas blizzards.
Yeah, but that's fucking awesome, man. I need
a Christmas blizzard.
I wish. Okay, so like, we've already missed our fucking cue, and I'm sorry, but I need to say this. If I could recreate the Christmas blizzard, I would be a YouTube sensation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I can't recreate the Christmas blizzard. It was just a thing that happened. It was just my drunkenness. Travis!
I wish that
Before you go lay down, can you refill my cup?
I wish that I could lower my inhibition and join you in a Christmas blizzard because you were having so much fun. I haven't had that much fun in a long time, and I'm jealous. I'm jealous that you were so inebriated. You no fun.
Here's the thing, though, like
great time.
I won't do any of that shit by myself. I have to have like a partner in crime.
Yeah. That's why
it's right up there with
the
shotgunning beers in a walk-in shower.
Oh my God. Okay, hold on 1 second. I have to answer Tamara. Okay. Tonight is going to be less writing, and I'm sorry, you guys, because we are talking shit and we are having a good time. Tamara, no, I have not gotten the new ColourPop palette. The reason is that I have been too broke to buy anything. I have several things on my list. BH Cosmetics is my spirit makeup company because Ricky Gervais is my spirit animal, so I can't really but BH Cosmetics is like my jam. So I've got like a whole cart of stuff over there with free shipping. Always make the cart heavy enough for free shipping. And then what do you want, baby? Excedrin. Okay, thank you. Just talk, it's fine. Everybody here is stuck with me because I'm the host. I love you. So yeah, BH Cosmetics is my jam. But the ColourPop stuff, I have not actually owned anything from ColourPop yet, and I'm like fiending for some ColourPop. I have a fucking Fenty palette that I have no business wearing, and that's what's on my eyes right now. And I'm so impressed with myself because I, for some reason, own a Fenty palette because someone gifted it to me. My boss actually gave it to me for my birthday last year. But like, I have no business owning a palette that's that expensive because my fucking Zodiac palette from BH Cosmetics is like $25 or whatever is somebody else's broke and BH sent them a new one, so I repressed this one. Like that's I awesome. Am cheap as fuck, but like I have carts and those carts have makeup and that makeup like today at work we got a delivery from the UPS guy and he came in carrying the delivery for next door. And that delivery was from Sephora. And I considered whether or not it was worth my job to jump him.
Oh, man.
So that's where I'm at with me. And I don't understand it. Like, I'm not good at it at all. I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing.
Yeah, but when you do it, it looks good on you. I mean, look, the first time I tried, so I saw this sexy smoky eye on like Pinterest. And so I got all the colors that the lady said I was going to need. And I went in the bathroom and I started using all the different paint brushes and I started painting on my face and I came out and my husband's best friend thought somebody punched me in the face. So I had to go in the bathroom and wash it off.
A lot of people think subscription services are new. My cats are fighting, I apologize. But they're not. In the mid 80s, when I was like 7 or 8, which actually would have been the late 80s, my mother found a place that would send you like a whole makeup bag every 3 months, I think it was. And it was like $29. So she got it for me. And she would pay for it as long as we had the money for it, which was 3 or 4 months, 3 or 4 more cycles before my parents were like, yeah, we can't afford your silly makeup, girl. But it was like a palette and a mascara and a lipstick and maybe a highlighter, which I would not have had any idea what the fuck to do with at that point. And like, I would just sit in my room and make my face up and wipe it off and make my face up and wipe it off. And like, I had no idea what I was doing. I never got any better at it. I just really enjoyed it. But it was like $30 in the late 80s. So, I mean, that's like a $70 fucking thing my mom was getting me because I really liked it. And like, I wouldn't share my writing with people when I was really young because I was afraid, and this is the kiss of death. I was afraid my mother would say it was cute.
Yep.
Terrified. Absolutely terrified that she would think it was cute. So this was like my creative thing as far as my parents were concerned, but it wasn't, but they thought it was. So like they would get me this thing, but like, meanwhile, I made a Harry Potter style, and I was going to story time this actually, but whatever. I'm highly medicated this evening. For those of you who don't,
still medicate.
I'm going to be real public this evening because I'm under the influence. For those of you who don't know, I am on a medication that is not federally legal. So
but
here I am.
State regulated, okay? So
it is. I am on it, and I have a card, and I'm legal, but it is not federally legal, and YouTube fucking hates it. So we don't talk about it very much. But so I'm rambling.
Hey, baby.
What was I getting on about before I brought that up?
You were talking about your creativity, how you didn't want your mom to call your stuff cute.
About Harry Potter.
Yeah. So my parents have a staircase that like L's, and underneath it is like a coat closet. I turned this coat closet into my secret business room where I would write documents, which was really me just writing. But it was like a cupboard under the fucking stairs. Like I was fucking Harry Potter. Trying to be a writer, hiding under the stairs, being Harry Potter and a writer at the same time.
I had one of those rooms, like in the house that I lived in on the East Coast. We had one of those rooms, and then in Washington we had one of those rooms, and that's for the kids. I put like their fort underneath the stairs, and they would just chill in there for hours, like playing and having a great time. Those are great rooms. I actually miss having an under the stair room.
Yeah, it was amazing. And it was, I mean, I'm big. I don't know if any of you are aware of this. Like, I probably look like just a fat chick on the internet, but like, I am 6 foot tall. I am not a small lady. And that has stretched through my life. My older brother actually was tested for whether or not he was wee.
Wait, what?
Whether or not he was wee.
Like small or
like dwarf.
Oh, okay.
And I have, and I know this is like offensive and bigoted and horrible. I have an actual phobia of like little people.
Oh, that's not bigoted.
It is though, because this is a whole group of people that I am excluding from my world because of my own preconceived notions. So it is wrong. I can't turn it off, but it is wrong.
Yeah,
and
but
I
did you have like
recognize
a negative
that.
experience as a child?
No, I just am afraid of them. It's the fucking leprechaun.
A phobia is a difference than being a bigot, because that's a That's you purposely making up your mind that you don't like something as a bigot. But if it's a phobia, that's something you cannot control.
But if somebody told me that there were black people phobic, I'd have a problem. So I'm not gonna. So I can't walk that line. So it is a problem. It is wrong of me to feel that way. It is a thing I am coping with, and I am attempting to deal with. It's due to the fucking Leprechaun movie. I don't know why, but that really stuck with me. It's like one of the few movies that actually stuck with me. But like, I am 6 foot tall. So like the idea of being little terrifies me. And I think that's really what it comes down to, is just the idea of being so small that I can't do things really scares me.
Okay.
But I don't remember where I was going with this. Sorry, too much alcohol. Oddly enough, I don't do this when I'm just high.
We were talking about...
Hold on, you're going to pull me back. Do it.
We were talking about federally regulated versus non-federally regulated, and then that escalated into Harry Potter with the room under the
stairs.
Okay.
And then you were telling us a story about your phobia.
Well, if you go back far enough, you were going to talk about the Christmas blizzard.
It was just that I was always taller than everyone else. Like, no one ever thought I was going to be small. No one was ever concerned about that. But I always had, and I am actually mildly claustrophobic. But like, I repeatedly built these small spaces where I would do work, which was always writing. And I did it on the stairs, and I did one in the basement, and I made one in the garage. And then I also made like a dance studio in the garage so that I could do my dance to Straight Up by Paula Abdul.
Right on.
Which we won't go into, but I remember a large portion of it. So yeah, that's like, I don't know.
So is your brother shorter than you were?
Oh, my brothers are both shorter than me.
By a lot.
They're 5'8" and 5'9", I think, and I'm 6 foot tall.
Oh, okay.
My mom.
Chris isn't 5'8". He's only a couple of inches taller than me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's like 5'6", 5'7".
Yeah. My parents are 6. Well, okay. Before they started shrinking, they were 6'2" and 5'4".
Okay.
I am physically a representation of my mother. Every other part of me is my father. Like, my face is my mother's. It's like you took my mom's face and
it's creepy. It is.
It is. Like, it's so bad that I showed a black and white picture of my mother to my little brother, and my little brother was like, "When did you have black and white pictures taken?" And I was like, "Oh, like in 1965.
Yep.
It's ridiculous. But yeah, I'm funny. Yeah. But we should actually work, you guys, because we are after 8, and I am just rambling, and I'm drunk, and I apologize. So we should do some work, because Alina's not here to tell me to do some work.
I was gonna let you go.
I know, I'm like,
the boss
I'm having a great time.
She's sleeping and she's the boss of me. I don't appreciate it.
I'll tell you what, Alina, she is really good.
2 minutes. 2 minutes every 2 fucking minutes.
Okay, we'll start getting on a tangent, and all of a sudden Alina's like, "All right, get back on track." I'm like, "Man, where were you in my 20s?
You know what?
Use this shit." Yeah.
The entire reason I can sell myself is because Alina would get on me. Like, we would do the stream. This was back when it was like me, Alina, CJ, and like Amber on and off, because Amber's work schedule was a mess.
Yeah, it was.
So like, we would get off of stream and Alina would be like, "You need to do this different, and you need to do this different." And like, it didn't come across like, "Bitch, you better do it." It came across like, I'm helping you improve. And so like, it was incredibly helpful. And the other day she said to me, like, "You've gotten so much better." And I'm like, oh!
Yeah, you actually like were like, "Oh, thank you."
I know. I'm like, "Oh, have I?"
Yeah, I will say she is excellent. She's incredibly encouraging. And if you don't promote yourself as much as she thinks you should, like if you don't say something that she thinks you should, she will remind you, "You need to say this. This is part of your platform or part of your brand or whatever." Like, she's really cognizant of that, and that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I miss her when she's not here. And like during that run while she was sick, I was like, I missed her like a lot.
Yeah, we were always in the stream. I
All
miss
right.
Alina.
It's
All
8:05.
right, it is time. We should do
All
a
right.
15-minute sprint.
3,
Everybody do your thing. Get down with your
2,
bad selves.
1, go.
Ow, that's my skin. Oh, ow, baby, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I love you. My kitten is feral, so she thinks that my fingers are going to give her milk, and when they don't, she gets really upset. She tries to eat my fingertips because she thinks they're going to give her milk.
Have you tried giving her like a bottle?
She's fucking 4 months old.
Oh, never mind.
I mean, she's huge. She weighs as much as my adult cat does.
Mm.
So, sorry,
Yep.
I interrupted. Everybody work. Sarah's
You
being a
gotta
jackass.
tell her to get off the tits.
Dogs. Ow. Why are you a monster?
I hear a German Shepherd. Someone's about to get ate up.
Y'all know what happens when you bark? You lose the door.
That's right. Give them the door.
All right, that was time.
No. All right. I am thoroughly disgusted in myself right now. I think I threw away all of all the deleted scenes. I think got dumped into a file and discarded.
Oh no.
I know, which really sucks.
That's fine.
I mean, it's fine because they have hard copies. Like I hand wrote everything, but it's still.
You don't want to have to retype it. I got 4 pages done.
I did like 5 pages, but I don't know. I also started watching videos. That's who I am.
I think I finished fixing my outline, but not quite.
My daughter brought me a cookie from Jim.
What kind? Is she baking cookies?
No, I guess it was one of her teammates' birthdays, and they brought cookies. There's a baker here. Everybody in Lincoln loves her. I've never had her cookies till the girls at gym started having them. Sweet Eileen's or something like that. And she takes those. Basically, they taste just like the sugar cookies you can get at Walmart that they decorate for the season or whatever. Holiday. And she, but her frosting is like heavenly. I don't know what she puts in it. It's heavenly.
Right.
I refuse to look up where she's at because I would be there every day. I would be there every day. They're so good.
All right. So are we gonna do another one at 25?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. At that point, I need to run to the restroom, so I will be doing that at that point. If you're wondering where I went. So yeah.
Isn't Lincoln isn't Nebraska like underwater right now?
Parts, yeah. Above us, technically, the North Platte River. Yeah, that's fine. Thank you. The North Platte River flooded, and so that whole area, I think like the VP came yesterday or something like that to tour. But like because we're downstream, the power plant is in North Platte and where the river crested, and so it knocked the electricity out. So we're in a water restriction right now. Like you can't buy bottled water in Lincoln anywhere unless you go steal it off a truck.
We are flooded as well, but I don't live near the flood zone. So
yeah, we're not flooded here, but
you're such a funny guy.
the flood zone is like on my way to work, but it doesn't cover the road I go over. So
I'm so mad. Like they told us because there's a river that runs right by our my work, and it almost crested. And it still wouldn't have gotten to us, but it would have knocked out like our AC and heating and all that. And they told us that if we left, even if our building flooded, if we left, then we would get an occurrence and get written up. Like, I'm pretty sure we'd be electrocuted if we stayed, so I'm pretty sure that would be against the law. Because there's tons of electrical stuff on the floor. But then one guy got rode up because he couldn't get out of his house because his street turned into a river. And they's like, well, it's your fault. You decided to live there.
That doesn't seem right.
He's not in a floodplain either. That's the weird part.
When I worked in a nursing home, we went and picked people up during bad weather. Like we would drive to their house. There was a period of time where like the weather was so bad. We got 1.5 feet in a night, and we had to go shovel our own parking lot at the nursing home. Like I was a social worker shoveling a parking lot.
Yeah.
And it was so bad that there were like 2 people with SUVs, and they would go around town, pick up people, round them up, take them back to the nursing home, pick up a round of people who needed to go home, drive around, drop them off at home, then pick up people to go to the nursing home, because like people can only work so long in a shift.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And like you can't just decide that because the weather sucks that Joan can't get her fucking medications.
Yeah.
Right. Which is the worst part about working in that kind of field is that you don't call off. Like that's not a thing you can do.
Yeah.
Right. That's part of the reason I went into the field I'm in is because on like when I met with my boss the first time, she was like, if the courthouse closes, we're closed. And I'm like, oh, word. Like, sold.
Yeah, at that point, you're like, this is the best thing ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it depends on your region too. Cause like when I worked in hospice in Washington, we got snowed in, and they were like, "Well, I hope you can spend the night." So,
Well, but that's a lot different than like CNAs, because CNAs regularly work doubles.
right.
And that was the problem. Like nursing home CNAs regularly work doubles.
Yeah.
So like a lot of these CNAs, they got stuck the night before because we got 1.5 feet of snow. So they
Yeah.
got stuck the night before and they were already on a double.
Mhm.
So like you can't work 3 shifts in a row. It's illegal in Illinois to work 3 shifts in a row. So it's not considered being staffed.
Oh, okay. I get
So
it.
it is essentially, then it becomes that the facility has abandoned their clients rather
Even if they're
than
still there.
right. Like if I was working in a group home in Illinois, I would, and I left in the middle of my shift, it would be called job abandonment.
Right.
And it would be considered abandonment of each one of those residents would probably be a separate charge of those people who were supposed to be monitored. But if the nursing home didn't make sure that there were staff who were fresh enough to be caring for the people, they would then be guilty of job abandonment in those people's place.
Gotcha.
So, but I think that was our buzzer. Are we supposed to be going, or we're supposed to have gone 2 minutes ago?
Yeah.
We're supposed to go 2 minutes ago. You know.
Mhm.
That's some bullshit. Also, I have to pee. It might be the wine's fault. It might also just be that I have to pee.
I think it's your kidney's fault.
Yep.
I think I still have a kidney stone.
Oh, that sucks.
Oh, my
Yeah.
mom went to the doctor today because she had an earache for the last 3 weeks, and she answers phones at work, and so it started going into the other ear, and she's like, "I can't be deaf. I've got to hear." So she went to the doctor, and she's got a full-blown sinus infection
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
That'll do it.
because I had one forever.
That's what Mini Monster had, like a sinus infection, and she got on a plane, and as soon as she got to the city of brotherly love, she was taken to the emergency urgent care because they thought she had an ear infection, and I was like, no, she's got a sinus infection, and then she got on a plane and she flew, so now her ears are like, I fucking hate you.
Yeah.
And fortunately, they didn't give her the antibiotic, because antibiotics are so hard on your digestive system and your prep factory. I always worry about giving them antibiotics when they don't really need them. Now she's feeling fine.
Yeah.
I'm like, yay. Mother knows best. You
But
could
My mom's jaw pops all the time, so she just thought she popped her jaw, and that's all it was.
Yeah. I landed hard one time. I was coming home from visiting my dad, and the pilot, he admitted he came in too hard. I mean, he literally hit that runway like everybody literally bounced out of their seat, and the little girl in front of me hit her forehead on the tray table and threw up right then and there. I felt so bad for her. And my ear had actually ruptured, and all of a sudden I couldn't hear anything. It was the weirdest thing. I was completely deaf, and the flight attendant came over and poked me because I had blood coming out of my ear, and it was running down my cheek. And the man sitting next to me kept asking me if I was okay, but I couldn't hear him. And so the flight attendant poked me and mouthed, are you okay? And I was like, I can't hear you. Oh, it was horrible. And so a hillbilly medicine, let me tell you what, we hillbillies know what the hell we're doing. I took an ear plug, shoved it in my ear, so now I had counter pressure, and suddenly I could hear again. I was like, oh, and the pain went away. And then the next day, the doctor pulled the earplug out, and oh my God, I thought somebody put a red fiery poker in my brain. It hurts so bad. So I just used the earplug as a band-aid. It was awesome.
We should really just get rolling with or without the time being appropriate.
Yeah.
Partly because I really have to pee.
Okay. Carrow had to leave.
Yeah, Carol
She-
had an emergency, so she had to run off. So she will see you guys all next stream.
Awesome. Let's get
Her
started,
links are
ladies.
down below, so go do that. But let's do a 15-minute sprint.
All right, let's
do it.
see you in a
1,
little bit.
2, 3, go.
Ah.
Oh, a new house, eh? Well, you should definitely see how Geico could help you save on homeowners insurance. Nice.
That sounds to me like we are told to stop.
That is the stop button.
Stop writing.
Stop what you are doing.
All right, next week on Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern, Tamara has a Right to Market live stream. Some of our friends here are going to be there. I will not, but other people here are going to be there. Are you, Amber?
Yep.
Are you, CJ?
What?
The Right to Market, the chat?
Yes,
all right, so everyone but me is going to be there. So
I won't be there. I'll be in the comments.
Okay.
No. Yes.
So Dane's going to be in the comments. I don't know if I'll be available at all. I'm not sure yet. I may be in the comments. Tamara is doing that. That is in the chat as well as down below now if you restart it and I didn't fuck up. Yeah, it's down there. It's oh, my camera was still off. It's really hard. See?
Wondered if that was on purpose or not.
Nope, that was the wine talking.
I am really excited about the right to market. I didn't read it, but I'm excited to hear what it has to do because, you know, as indies, we have to do a lot of that marketing shit, and I don't really understand any of it.
I don't like it.
I liked his book so much, the way he spells it out and everything, that I bought 2 or 3 other ones. I bought the 5,000 words a day and one more. I don't remember.
There's another one called Plot Gardening.
No, it was in the same series as this. Like he's got like 6 or 7 books or something.
No, there's 3 of them. There's 3 in this series. It's Write Smarter, Write Faster.
Yeah.
And it's Right to Market and 5,000 words an hour. And
then that's it.
I think the third one is Plot Gardening is the third one.
I didn't get that one. I think it's the Write Smarter, Write Faster, because that's what I'm trying to do since I really only have like an hour in the day to write when I first get home. Obviously, I can't write when I first wake up because that's when I'm getting my child. But so I have that hour between work and taking her to school. So I'm trying to figure ways to improve my progress.
I never learned how to read, so that's a problem.
Every time.
Someday I will learn. Right now, I send you a big sheet of wingdings and you play along. And I appreciate that. I appreciate all of you playing along with me. I pretend I know words. I do know that this is Bigfoot. And I do know that someday I'm going to quit my whole life and go find him. If I disappear, I have run off with Bigfoot.
Well, I heard that he's living on the Olympic Peninsula in Washington State, so you might want to start there.
All right, well, that wraps up tonight, and I thank you guys so much for hanging out with me, and I'll see you guys all when I get back from Washington.
Hey, you can stay in my RV once I get a house.
That's right.
We'll get Sasquatch looking.
I will tell you the secrets of where to find him, but not on the live because then it won't be a secret anymore.
I'd like to point out that we had like 16 viewers earlier. We're down to 7. I don't know what we've done, but we have chipped away at those fuckers. Wait. My channel, don't you watch my shit?
So wait. So we had more viewers when we were talking shit than when we were doing. Well, obviously we need to do some more shit talking.
No shit.
Right? Just make next Friday all the shit talking.
That's right. Hey, go to this lady's page.
I do think it's interesting, and I don't want to like elaborate too much on this, but I think it's interesting how different we can all be in so many ways and still be writers and still like identify with each other on that level.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because we can be so diverse in this, like our point of view and where we come from and what we believe, and like and that's already kind of a theme of my life because I am an atheist whose best friend is very religious and Christian in general. And like that's like a theme of my life is just like the idea that like other things in your relationship are more important than limiting one thing to decide who you can and can't associate with. And I feel like that's really important. And I feel like that's one of the reasons I really enjoy my live streams.
Yeah.
I agree with a lot of different people from a lot of different backgrounds who are writing a lot of different things. And diversity is the spice of life.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we have one common thing. We're all freaking crazy.
Right, and that's the thing is like we all bond over this one weird thing that we do, but like realistically we're very different people. And we're not people who would necessarily associate with each other under other circumstances. So
I don't know about that.
I think that that's true for some circumstances, but I mean, I would totally, like, if I met you and I think it's because like I am drawn to very open-minded people who love weird shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're drawn.
Yeah, so you're like me. You would love Sarah, and then like I still am religious and go to church every Sunday, so I can still be with CJ. I'd have tons of fun with both of them. I mean,
Well, and that's, I mean, CJ and I both have that experience where like people are stunned that we can be as close.
It is the funniest thing ever.
Because like, if my husband and I were about to go through a divorce,
Yeah.
I would stop my life and CJ would stop hers at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, that's the relationship we have. If she had an emergency, my life would stop and I would travel with her until her emergency was over.
Yeah. That's called love. And you don't have to have the same religious views or the same political views to love. And CJ's leader, the leader, commands her to love everyone. And I think even without that, she would love you unconditionally because you guys have that spiritual
let's not get crazy here.
And well, and that's why it always drives me insane when people are like, "Oh, I married my soulmate." Did you really? Because what you're describing there, how you would stop everything and you would go to be with her, it's because you guys are connected and in a deeper.
Well, and that's the thing is like, if I had like, let's say, to go real private, because this is kind of the realm that we're looking at. Let's say that like I had a problem with my husband intimately. I would bring that up to CJ to discuss with her what I should do about it before I would bring it up to him. And that is a much, much more intimate relationship on some level than the relationship I actually have with my husband.
Yeah. And I think, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I think that you don't have to have the same spiritual views are not what make us fundamentally human beings. You know what I mean?
That's the thing is that like, I feel like those kinds of things, when you meet in this realm, those kinds of things are apparently different.
Yeah.
Whereas in a lot of other situations, I don't know that they're that apparent.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is like, on paper, I don't know that anyone I'm friends with on AuthorTube should be friends with me in real life. And that's excluding CJ only because CJ and I have all kinds of other history that would negate a lot of that. Like, CJ lived with my parents. That negates a lot of our differences.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and like, I think that there's something to be said, and I've told other people this, is that particularly in this case, and I have a few other friends who are like this, not many, but I have a few other friends where you've been through so much together that there is a point where you're like, okay, we're either going to continue to be friends forever, or this is the point where we stop being friends.
And at that point, you also bury everything that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, like, that's a conscious decision you have to make. Yeah.
Because that's the thing is like CJ and I have stories together that we both know we will never tell anyone. Not because we spoke it, but because we both are like, I experienced that and I never want to re-experience it. And I'm sure she feels the same way. Because CJ and I have known each other now, God.
17 years?
17 years? Because I graduated 15 years ago. It's 17 or 18.
It's got to be, it would have been the fall of 2001.
18.
So it'll be 18 years this fall.
So
my
we've known each
goodness,
other
we're so old.
so long. So like there are stories and there are like, and it's even stuff like that's stupid, embarrassing. Like at one point in my life, because I didn't come to becoming an atheist lightly. This was not something like CJ is very aware of this because she lived with me through a lot of this. I did not decide that I didn't believe in anything until I had tried everything. So like there was a period of time in my life where I was pretty sure that fairies had to exist. They just had to.
They do.
I know. I'm like, wait a minute.
There is a place on the Rockford College campus that I will still call the place where the fairies play.
Yep.
And it is my favorite place to go on the campus. And I don't now believe that actual fairies play there, but it is one of the most comforting and calming places on the whole campus.
Yeah.
And it's CJ, is it not a lovely place?
It is beautiful.
Yeah.
It is
It's just
absolutely beautiful.
there just aren't actual fae living there.
Yeah. Like my sister's mother-in-law, for all intents and purposes, her and I were talking, and she was telling me that there is a place where she goes and she believes that the fairies live there because there's just so many unexplainable things that have occurred, and this is a very peaceful place for her and I told her, I was like, you know what, here's the thing, I'm not going to put myself in this box. Human beings limit the universe and all of its creations to fit inside a box that they can understand.
Or that they're comfortable with.
Yes. I think that the universe and its creations are vast, and we have no idea. We don't even know a fraction of what actually goes on here. And so I think that the possibility of other entities and creatures living amongst us is not really that far out there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I understand what you're saying, and I find were I
The wine is beginning to talk.
this is the part that I cut out of my videos, actually.
The wine has began to drip on the tongue.
It's not even the wine. This is just Sarah being a fucking idiot.
and I'm like, should I break open my bottle?
Also, I'd like to point out that just now I realized my name is Sarah. Just so y'all know. That's where I'm at this evening. That's my name. That's weird. I said it out loud. Nope, gone.
But like, yeah, this conversation has taken quite a turn. However, I think that as writers, these are the conversations we need to have more of, because this is kind of where we pull our creative,
absolutely,
essence from.
And that's
and there's something to be said for, as writers, we have to write a lot of stuff that we do not ourselves experience. We have to write about people that we have never been.
Yes.
We have to write about experiences we've never had or we may never have.
Yeah.
And so I think it's important to have these kind of conversations to be able to find how those things exist in other people so that we can write about them. If you only write about the things you know, you're missing out on some of the best stuff.
That's I have a nephew, he has passed away since, but he was trans, and one of the things he said to me, like, I only got one chance before he passed away to sit down with him and just like ask him questions. And it was at a convention. He just happened to be like hanging out. He sat at our booth. And I asked him some questions about like where he was at. And he actually said to me, like, those are not questions I usually answer. And I was like, for a minute, I was like, am I weird? And then I thought about it and I was like, I probably just have a much different point of view because I'm not looking at him as an outsider looking in. I'm looking at him as an outsider wanting to look out.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I want to get what someone is saying from their inside out, not that I want to see from the outside what they're feeling.
Yeah.
And I think those are two very different things. And while both are incredibly useful, and like, I don't think for a second that like a cis straight white person can't understand a trans person from that point of view. Like, I don't think for a second that's true, but I think as a writer, you have to look at it as a totally different thing because you're not looking at what they think and what they feel. You're looking at how they think and how they feel.
Yeah.
And then trying to convey that to your readers.
Right.
Yeah.
And that
Right.
I think
without just spelling it out for them, because
Yeah.
that is like offensive on so many levels.
Right.
Yeah, that's
Say,
tokenism.
well, I'm trans because, or, well, you know, they don't notice me because I'm trans and that makes me different. Like, those things are uncomfortable and no one wants to hear that.
And it's so disingenuous
Mhm.
Yeah.
in its portrayal. It's a caricature rather than a character.
Yeah.
And I
Right.
think that is something I think writers struggle. We struggle with that as it is, like
Right,
because
absolutely.
we do write
'Cause
in
we only
tropes,
live
and
one
we write in right, and we write in tropes, and there are all of these things that contribute to those tropes, and so part of the work of writing, of creating, I think I don't know that this is limited to writers. I mean, this is the sphere that we're in,
Right.
but when
like,
you create
creativity in general.
stories, that's one of the things that you have to figure out how to do. And I can remember, like, just because videos are such a ubiquitous part of our experience in this day and age, but I'm always amazed by people who can tell an amazing story about a character through visual representation. Like, that blows my mind. But it's just as complex to do it through words as it is through visual representation. I think that anybody who creates a story has to be aware that what they're creating needs to be authentic, and it needs to reach both the individual person or the individual person who will identify with that character, as well as people who will never identify with that character in that specific
Box.
yeah, in that specific box or that label
Yeah.
or those experiences, but will identify with them as a human being.
I will tell
So,
you,
like,
I think that's a fine line too.
yeah, and I will tell you 100%. One of my favorite stories, and probably close to number one, it might be number one, that I've ever written was taxidermy. And 90% of that is because I saw it through someone else's eyes. Because my husband remade it. It is down in my description. So if you want to see it, absolutely go watch it. He took my dialogue essentially almost word for word. It may have been altered a little bit. And the boyfriend had no lines, and he has a line in the movie. But anyway, that movie made me see a different, like, and it's not like a 90-degree angle. It's like from 1 to like 4. But it's just enough of a different angle that it like made me passionately love this story that I was lukewarm on before.
Right.
Which is an amazing thing for him to be able to do for you.
Yeah.
And the thing is that he was worried about how I was going to feel about it.
Yeah.
Like, he spent a lot of time concerned about how I was going to feel about it. And it is, on top of all of the things I love about it being an adaptation of my work, the girlfriend's house is my mom and dad's living room. And the outside of their house is their house. So there's this very, like, warm feeling I have when I see it. And, like, that's part of the reason, like, if people wonder why I'm always, look at that video, even though I get nothing out of it. The reason is that it's weirdly fulfilling to see someone else look at my story, decide that this is how it looks visually, and then tell the world that.
Yeah.
You know, like it's mind-blowing how this weird, and like I can tell you now looking back, let me see, taxidermy. The thing I saw when I started, because when I start writing a story, I see a single image. And when I saw taxidermy, what I saw was a woman holding a shower curtain back, another woman tied up, and the woman who's holding it back looking so proud of herself.
Yeah.
And that is what I saw. And like Travis took that, and this has nothing to do with him being my husband, like absolutely nothing. Because if it sucked, everyone would know that shit. Like, I love to call Travis out. So
I can attest to
all
that.
over that shit. But it, like, there is one shot where you see her shadow and his face, and it makes me melt because it reminds me of Tales from the Crypt. If you guys are familiar from the 90s.
I love that.
It's one of my favorite things that ever happened on television. And like this one shot is like, hi, I'm Tales from the Crypt. And I'm here to say hello. And it makes me like melt. And to see someone else get a Tales from the Crypt moment out of something I wrote blows my motherfucking mind.
Yeah.
Like, there's no other way to describe it. And I understand, like, he has sex with me, so I get that his angle is a little different than everyone else's. But I don't care. He got a Tales from the Crypt moment out of some shit I wrote.
That's right.
Like, it's so amazing to me. And that's why, like, if you ever hear me say, like, you need to go check out this video, that's why I'm so excited about it, because it's like there's this Tales from the Crypt moment in there, and it's on account of what happened in my brain. And my brain is fucking stupid.
No, it's not.
Well, it
is.
So it can't be that bad.
No, but it is. Everybody else's brains are better than my brain, and that means that everybody else should write things because their brains can write better things than I wrote, and my brain wrote an awesome thing. What the hell?
I enjoy your
That's
brain.
why I shouldn't be allowed to drink on the internet.
I know. I'm like,
one of many.
I can honestly say, and that's why I really enjoy your style of writing, because you say, like, when people hear it's horror, that you write horror, it's like, oh, it's going to be slash them and gash them and all this stuff. And really, it's more than that. It's you get into their brains. So if you can do that so well, and I'm one of those people that if I will actually pick it up and read the entire thing and then tell people about it, you know it's good, because I've got bookshelves full of books where I'm like, done, 50 pages in, I'm done.
Yeah.
So
I will tell you, the thing that told me that I wasn't a pile of shit who just needed to like abandon this idea that I was a writer was when I got the first thing I shared. I had like 4 friends at the nursing home who read. And I was like, would you guys be willing to read a couple stories for me? And I think Shattered from Suggestion 376 was the first one I shared with them. And the first thing I heard back, I shared Shattered, and I think I shared Taxidermy, and then I may have shared Flat. And the first thing I heard back was, why don't you finish a story? And I was like, see, that's exactly what I'm going for here. I'm like, I don't know how to argue, because the thing is that horror stops being scary when you know what you're scared of.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that I have such a hard time with as a horror writer, is that I am really comfortable in the short story realm.
Right.
But in longer stories, I have a much harder time. And the problem there is that short stories don't sell.
Right. But see, here's the thing. With your style of writing, it made me realize that the thing I'm really afraid of is myself, because I can see myself doing that shit.
Well, and like, I've had people message me and say stuff about like, Flat's kind of boring. It's just about meeting a Bigfoot. And I'm like,
Yeah,
just
'cause you
about
wouldn't
meeting a
freak out.
Bigfoot. Are you fucking serious?
Right.
Like,
Tell me that's not terrifying.
and part
You
of
meet
like,
a Bigfoot and go hi.
right, like, and CJ knows this. Part of my love of Bigfoot is that as an atheist, and I'm a hard atheist. Like, I'm a like, show me evidence or go fuck yourself atheist. So if tomorrow somebody said, here's Bigfoot DNA, I'd go, now I have to rethink everything. And that's exhilarating to me. Like, that's like my emotional heroin. Give me something like where I have to reassess everything and I'm on it. So that's my point of view. And I know that's probably strange, but I think it has to do with how absolutely like evidence-based my brain is.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. But yeah, we've been on for 2 hours and 15 minutes now.
Doesn't feel like it.
No, it doesn't.
I know.
I appreciate that people are saying nice things to me. I am drunk, and I will notice tomorrow how nice people were to me, even though I was drunk.
Well, your fans love you, Sarah.
My fans? That's ridiculous. Fans.
Well, actually, Wendy,
It doesn't mean it's not true.
No, but here's the thing. You
She
can't
is
call them
there.
fans if they message you, you will add them to their video chat. They're friends.
can.
If you would like, if Wendy messaged me tomorrow and said, "Hey, I want to get added," she'd automatically be added. She's not a fan; she's a friend.
That's right.
Here's my thing. I think that sounds like you think those two things are mutually exclusive, and I don't believe that that's true.
Mm-hmm.
You can have friends. Like, here's my thing. I have friends who are creatives. I am not a fan of their work.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not that I think they're awful at it or they're not. That's not my thing.
Right.
I'm their friend and I will support them and whatever. I don't really care for what they do, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
I am a fan of yours because I enjoy how you write. You don't even write a genre that I like.
I'd like to point out I received a message from you one time that said something about "fuck you, I can't go camping anymore."
I'm not saying that you don't fuck my head up every once in a while, but that doesn't negate the whole fan thing. And I stand by that statement.
Oh, that's funny.
See, that just makes her a bigger fan because you freaked her out enough that now she can't go camping.
Okay, so like, I don't know if you guys have seen this movie, but I made her watch The Mist by like the Stephen King adaptation of The Mist.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it's not that scary. And it really, up until 2 minutes before it ends, it really isn't. And I didn't think about the ending and how it was going to affect her. And if you haven't seen her, I'm not going to spoil it. But up until the ending, CJ was absolutely like, this is really cool and it's very tense and it's very like anxiety, but it's not like causing her problems, right? She's just like, this is really intense and I get why you thought I'd like it. And it's really like narratively interesting.
It tells a good story.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, and that's why I made you watch it, and I didn't really clearly think about the ending.
And
the
then
ending
2 minutes before the credits roll,
Bam.
there is a distinct possibility that I am the reason CJ had her very first panic attack. Like, looking back, that probably was.
I've never seen The Mist, but now I have to figure out what the hell you guys are talking about because
really good.
Yeah,
It's
it's a
an
really good
excellent-
movie.
here's the thing.
Fucking good.
It is an excellent, excellent movie. And to be fair, it's based on a short story that it's excellent. I went back and I read the short story afterwards. And the short story is really good. Like everything
It's
about
not
that
as good as
story.
the movie though.
No,
And Stephen
the
King would
movie
say
is
the same shit.
the movie is absolutely mind blowing, and the ending, like, I lost my shit. I lost my shit. Just,
But it's
I could see that.
and it's such a good ending that like it's not arguable that it's not an appropriate ending. It's just like the most emotionally crippling ending.
yes, that's a good way to put it. It is emotionally crippling.
And
Oh, wow.
like at the time I didn't realize that CJ had the anxiety issue. So I didn't know what I was doing. But yeah, it was an intense experience.
Oh wow.
Slowly ramped her up to just panic attack mode.
To
Yeah.
be fair, she did not. That was not the first panic attack I'd ever
No.
had. I'd had panic attacks before, but that one was pretty.
Yeah, but like you
memorable.
said, the movie is intense the whole time. So by the time you get to the end, I mean, yeah, I have heart problems. I could, yeah, I can see that.
I mean, it takes a lot to push me over into a full panic attack. I mean, and mine are bad. When I'm having a full-blown panic attack, like I can't touch the doorknob on the front door. And my husband kicks in, and because he knows if the world is too big, I can't be in it.
Yeah.
And so I'm envisioning that is how CJ was feeling. Like she had to be in a very small space to feel secure.
I was sitting on the couch, and the couch was the only place that existed. And yeah, I lost it. I lost my
I've
shit.
never in my life felt as bad as I did when CJ like lost it. Because like it did not occur to me. Because it really is, there's like a moment where there's a shift in the very ending of the story. And like, it didn't occur to me how drastic that shift was. Partly because I'm high all the time, but partly because like, I don't have the same emotional background as CJ does. So when it hit her like a ton of bricks, I was like, oh, I should have known better. But like I didn't. Like it didn't occur to me, but my immediate response was, oh my God, it should have occurred to me.
Yeah.
Excuse me one moment. I will be right back.
Okay.
She's leaving us because she hates us and she's a bitch.
I think, okay, now that I'm seeing what the mist is, I think I have seen bits and pieces of it.
It's
but
a
I don't
really
think I've
good
seen
movie. And actually, in my defense, Stephen King says the ending of the movie is better than the ending of the story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this the one where I think this I think this is the one. But I don't want to do a spoiler either. So I will type it to you and you can tell me if it's the one that's the correct one.
But I did not mean to crush. Sorry, I have a hiccup. I did not mean to crush CJ emotionally. Like, in any fucking way, I did not mean to do that. But I sure did. So that was nice. All right, Tamara has to get some work done. So, bye, Tamara! We'll miss you. We're probably going to wrap up soon because it's like 9:30 at night and I'm drunk and I got to go play Sims. Because nobody voted otherwise. What the hell? My phone's vibrating. I don't know where my phone is.
Oh,
what did I miss?
It's just me. I looked up to see if I saw the
the ending.
Yeah. Well, no,
yes.
I just want it is okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, okay. Then I have seen it, and I didn't have a panic attack, but I was so fucking pissed off because in my mind, they had lost all hope. And for me, that is like the worst thing ever. Like I tell people all the time, do not let people rob you of your hope. If anything, even at the end of the day, when you have nothing left, hold on to hope. Because even when Pandora's box was completely empty, at the very bottom, there was hope. Hope remained. And so when I watched that and they were so devastated that they had lost all hope, and then boom, what happens? They would have just waited 5 fucking more seconds. Don't lose your hope, asshole. No. No, so yeah, I totally get it, CJ. I totally get it. So, and I love watching Sarah play Sims on Twitch as well. She's funny.
Is she a nutcase?
Yeah.
You guys are so funny because like the while I'm doing it, I'm like, this is really stupid. Nobody has any interest. I'm just talking to myself like a fucking idiot.
But you're not.
But that's entertaining.
Yeah. And then the other day when I was like
you
typing
underestimate the entertainment factor.
Yeah.
Of that.
And like every now and again I would type a comment in the little comment box and she'd be like, "Oh man, I'm sorry, I didn't see it." And it's like it didn't even matter. I was just commenting whenever, but it was just so entertaining. You didn't have to interact with me because I'm sitting here laughing my ass off because you're just like,
That's what I'm gonna do after this. I'm gonna go take a whiz. I'm gonna refill this thing. And then mind you, I'm now going through a box of wine like every 3rd day.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm on like cup 2. How many have you had at this point?
I'm on 4, I think.
Yeah.
I'm gonna catch up.
You've been under some pretty high stress, so you deserve that box.
True. My life has been pretty rough. We have and I know I shouldn't, we're like we've been on for 2.5 hours. But I'm gonna make this quick. We have a really intense case at work where like I'm the only one who's allowed to touch the box because there is a attempted murder charge involved. We are not on the attempted murder case. We are on a separate case, but there is an attempted murder case involved. So like my ability to fuck this up is fucking 0.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna ruin someone's fucking life if I mess this up.
Yeah.
And so that keeps me at a 9 all the time. Yeah. Like we have a girl who files stuff. She's not allowed to file things in this case.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
No one is allowed to touch these boxes except me.
So you drink all the wine you want to drink and smoke all the vape you want to vape. And
this is tobacco. This is nicotine.
Hey, I don't care. I don't care what it is, as long as
the
it keeps
camera off is what keeps me from making my boss lose her license with the state.
Right. So you do you, and we'll keep tuning in.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go over to Twitch when we're done. But let's go ahead and say goodbye, everybody. Let's sell some stuff. Let me start for Carrow. She has links down below. Carrow had a family emergency. She had to run out. It is really important that you go down and like her channel. She is pretty new to like the whole streaming thing, but she is really busting her ass getting her stuff ready to go. She has a book coming out very soon. Go down below and absolutely go subscribe to her channel. And I think she has her website linked below.
Yeah.
She knows it better than me. Yeah.
Just to piggyback on what Sarah's saying, go check out her short story. It's freaking awesome.
Yes. Go sign up for her newsletter. You get it for free. Or pay $1 over on Amazon. Or you can do both. You can sign up for a newsletter and then pay her $1. Yeah. Because I bet she would take the $1.
Yeah, it is worth it. It is 100 million times worth it.
Above all else, go leave her a review because this is really important. We are all independent. At least on some level, she is actually published by someone, but she is also independently trying to get you to fucking read her book.
That's right.
So everyone, please, anytime you go read something by an independent author, especially go and review it, leave comments. If you have complaints, please leave those privately because that makes you not a fucker. But yeah, so let's go ahead. Amber, go ahead and tell your stuff.
Oh my God.
What?
I'm so sorry. Shannon, I love you. I love you. Oh my gosh. I thought someone's reading my book. Oh my God. I'm going to cry. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh, Dana, calm down. Take a deep breath. It'll be all right, Dana. I'd like to point out, oh my God, Dana, you're so funny. I'd like to point out that one of my best viewed videos is your book release video. So you can't like look at that easily. You can go over to Social Blade, send me a message. I'll help you with Social Blade. And you can see kind of how well it's doing, but your video is doing really fucking well.
Wow.
You are the same color as your fucking shirt.
Yes, you are.
I should have told you I was reading it and everything. Make you cry even sooner.
Oh man. Oh my God. I'm so sorry. Oh,
you're fine.
That is so awesome.
Dude, you're doing the same thing I did. I have the honor, I guess you could say, of working with guys. I'm one of, I think, out of 60-something workers at my work that there's maybe 4 of us girls, and I've been so supported at my work. I've had 7 guys buy my book, and 2 of them are actually reading it. So I know exactly how you're feeling. I think they're like, I'm on page this, and I'm thinking about this, and I'm like, oh my God. Not only are you reading it, but you're a guy, and you're liking it. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's really like...
It's so rare.
Even when CJ tells me she's reading something of mine, I'm like, oh!
Yeah.
And it's like fucking CJ, she has to or I'll kill her.
Yeah. Well, like, I just thought they were buying it to, you know, support me or whatever. I didn't actually think they would read it. So when they come up, it's like, oh my God.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
So
all right, Amber, tell some stuff.
On that vein of us releasing books, I did have a special in March, but with everything going on, I did not get to promote it. So April, I don't know. My book came out February 9th. So whatever the weekend of April 9th is, I will have a sale going on for Unknown Love. But that is on Amazon and ready for you guys and your reading pleasures. And as far as everyday stuff, I'll have my video out tomorrow. I'm going to edit that tonight and tell you all what's been going on. And yeah, I got permission to talk about it now. So, yeah, that's all I got to load on right now.
Awesome.
All right, CJ.
I'm CJ Bloyer, and you can catch the one and only thing I have out, the South Deer Island Chronicles, over on my Tumblr, which is linked below.
All right, and Dana?
My name is Dana Gollin, and you can find all of my good stuff, including, according to Shannon, my awesome book at my website, danagollinwrites.com, and I am going to be starting to post more things to my Patreon page probably tomorrow, actually.
Or else Alina's going to break her legs.
Yes, she will, because she's told me like 3 times now that I should get back on that. So
she's not going to defend herself because she's not here. So
that's right. So, and I know, and thank you so much, Shannon. I'm not usually this shade of red, but Shannon is like the first person who I've heard that they love it, and she's even commenting about my Cassius, who I love. I know he's amazing. So thank you guys. Thank you.
All right.
I'm done.
All right, and thank you guys so much for hanging out. Don't forget Carrow's links are down below. She did have to run out, but go in and check on her links. Tamara has a stream on Saturday next week regarding Right to Market by
Chris Fox.
Chris Fox. I remembered Fox. I couldn't remember his first name. And there's a Dry to Writer shirt. Look how awesome and sexy my Dry to Writer shirt is. Over on Society 6. that is regarding my Extreme Drowess, the show that I am a D&D character on. My character is no longer there, so I have a new character coming next week. Hooray! And then also after this, I am going to go over to twitch.tv/Wordsmith Sarah, where I will be playing some Sims 4 with some mods, and I will also be getting drunker.
We will see you there.
So go check that out. Let me see if I have. Oh, I do have it. Yep. Awesome. I'm going to share it again. And then I'm going to add it down to the video down below. So if you are watching this afterwards, you can go check that out and see how awesome Drunk Sarah is at Sims.
Let me just say, Drunk Sarah has got it to where I was drunk like 3 or 4 days before you put out your drunk video, and I was making Jazz laugh, and she had laryngitis and couldn't talk, so it was really bad. I shouldn't have been doing that. But I now I'm like, okay, I'm not so I don't mind getting on camera if I'm drunk, because Sarah looked good doing it. I can.
I'm real good at being a drunk, but that has to do with my extensive history of substance abuse. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. I'm sorry we went so long. It's been 2.5 hours. We are crazy people. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. Have a good night. Bye, everybody.
Bye.